is now run on track number 2. For your safety, please stand clear of the tracks on the Brixby on the yellow line. Allow this train to safely proceed into the station. Again, for your safety, please stand clear of the tracks on the Brixby on the yellow line. Allow this train to safely proceed into the station. Train number 120 to Mayo Place Limited will be the next train leaving the station at 12 noon.
First class, borrow?
Next time I'll book this one.
Ready?
I'm ready. And what's your name?
Joel.
Joel. Thank you.
Hey, Chad. This is first class lounge.
Nice.
Now the two cars that, the one we just came through parlor,
Yes.
the one we're in now lounge, these cars both started out as coach cars with bed seating. But since they were in such bad shape, we had to gut them anyway.
Ah.
We figured, let's bring them back better than new.
Yeah.
But they're all correct to the period.
And what period is that roughly?
The parlor car was in 1910.
1910. Huh?
On in. If it swivels, it's available. This one actually was a bunk car.
Now, is this a dining car or a cafe?
So this is overflow dining seating.
Okay.
At Christmas, we turn this, we call it the club car on this half.
Right.
We turn it into a living room with its own Christmas tree.
Nice.
Now this one is our only combine car. That means coach seating and baggage storage. And as a red cap, baggage is my business.
Okay. Thank you.
Now this car's a 1903.
Nice.
And the heating stoves are not just for looks in the winter, that's how we heat the train.
Someone shoves coal in there?
Yes, the conductor and the brakeman and the grounds crews, they keep them fired up
Oh,
properly.
interesting.
Now this coach is a 1906.
They did a great job restoring it.
And so far, every car we've been in, including this one, except for the full lounge car, they're all Boston and Maine cars. The full lounge car is Baltimore and Ohio. Now this next car is one of our newest. It's a 1910. It's a Philadelphia and Reading. And then from here on down to the Locomotive, we have 3 open air cars.
That's me.
And they are, well, we have 4 total in the fleet. 3 of them on the train today. 3 of them are cut down from coach cars. And one of them was actually cut down from a cooking car. For your purposes, I'd ride in the one on the end.
At the end, okay.
In fact, the one on the end is the oldest car on the train today. In
Ah.
fact, it's one of the oldest in our whole fleet. It's an 1896.
Really? Nice.
So we have 2 1896s, an 1897, an 1899. And then all the others date from 1900 to 1913.
So I'm in a 19th century car.
Now you'll notice this one's built differently than the other 2.
Okay.
Because this one has that deck on the end.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Go on out, try it on for size.
All right.
Great place for Texas.
It is. It is.
You can stand out here when the train's running.
It'll be loud
Yes.
the whole time.
Only on the way out.
Oh, no, okay. All right.
Because when you get to the other end, they'll stop the train, cut her away, run her around. A couple are on the other end. Now you got the greatest view of the countryside, and it's the quietest car on the train coming back.
The name of this car is the Hello Dolly. It was built to appear in the movie, so this car is a movie star.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this warning whistle mean that the train is ready to depart for Paradise, Pennsylvania. At this time, please make sure all ticket receipts are out in hand and ready for the train crew. All aboard Paradise, all aboard! Train 107, the Robert Colton departing East Strasburg Station for Paradise, Pennsylvania. All ticket holders should now have their tickets in hand and ready for the train crew.
began in 1832 when the Pennsylvania legislature chartered the Strasburg Rail Road, allowing the construction of this 4.5 miles of track that we call a short line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what allowed this piece of Pennsylvania Dutch country to connect with the mighty Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad. That locomotive up front would burn up to a half-ton of coal in this round trip, all hand shoveled by our firemen into a 2,000-degree firebox. It's exactly that kind of hard work and backbone that's helped this railroad survive more than a few hard turns. Take up to 6 hours to fire up properly. This is done by gradually raising the temperature inside the firebox to increase steam pressure in the boiler. It's a process known as hustling. Our staff will also provide a full inspection of the locomotive, lubricate a multitude of moving parts, and ensure the tender is filled with enough coal and water for the day's journey.
As we come alongside Amtrak's Keystone Corridor from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, this was the original route of the Philadelphia and Columbia Railroad, which became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1857. Where the white buildings stand today, once stood Henry Lemon's Hotel. The interchange track on the running right is used to deliver freight cars off the main line into our East Strasburg yard, where shipments are offloaded to trucks for local delivery. Arrived on February 22nd, 1861, when President-elect Abraham Lincoln made a short stop in Lancaster County on the way to his Washington inauguration. Thousands gathered around these tracks just to see a glimpse of Mr. Lincoln, who stepped out, faced the crowd, and said,
I've come to see you and let you see me. I believe I have the better of the bargain.
The crowd was equally enthusiastic to see Mary Todd Lincoln. When she stepped out and stood beside her much taller husband, Lincoln eloquently quipped,
Now you can see the long and short of it.
Sadly, in 1865, another train would pass through Lemon Place, but in the opposite direction, this one carrying President Lincoln's body after his untimely death at the hands of John Wilkes Booth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination of Paradise, Pennsylvania, located along Route 30 in eastern Lancaster County. We'll be here for just a few minutes while we switch our locomotive around to the opposite end of our train for the return trip. The creaking and hissing that you'll hear under our cars is the sound of the train crew performing a brake test. The brakeman checks the brakes on the last car and passes signals up to the engine crew at the head end of the train.
If we're lucky enough, we may see one pass by us on this trip, going well over 100 miles per hour. Today's locomotive pointer train is old number 90. If you understand at the church, you may also do that at a sign. But please note, do not move from car to car. So again, after you're done standing up and stretching, please make sure you are back in your seat. Thank you.
Wie bist du? That's how are you in Pennsylvania Dutch. There are 21 working farms along this route, many of them owned by Amish families. You wouldn't be surprised if you saw more than one horse-drawn buggy on your way to visit our railroad today. There's about 32,000 Amish people in the eastern half of this region. Their German and Swiss ancestors immigrated to Pennsylvania as early as the 18th century. There are more than 2,000 Amish-owned businesses in this area, many earn their income from carpentry, painting, plumbing, and masonry.
Mark Fulton is now arriving back at East Strasburg Station. For your safety, please remain seated until the train has made a full complete stop inside the station. Thank you all again so much for coming today, and we hope you come take another train ride with us again soon. Take care, everyone.
So this is our engine house, and I'll walk you guys up here. Just be careful of the pit to you. So this is basically where we keep our serviceable steam engines. Right now, we have 2 that are serviceable. We have 90 that's out of the line, and we have 89 that's about to go into service. 90 is about to hit her 31-day inspection. So on July 5th, this one will go in, 90 will go out, and we'll do an inspection on that. The 31-day inspections, we can generally turn around in 3 to 4 days. The other thing too is when there's conditions that are really wet, they slip like crazy. And that could be a problem, you know. So other than that, it's okay. Now, one of you was asking me about, like, you know, can you buy the parts? Do you make the parts? So I'll give you an example of like some of the things that we make. So everything that you see on here, like we can make and we have made. You know, rods, pins, bushings, staples, injectors. This is something that you don't see anymore. So there are vital components to steam engines to keep them running. You can't buy them anymore. We're one of the few places on the entire planet that makes them. Stored here, and they're sent out all over the country to various tourist lines. This one lives here, and the only other place that uses it is the Henry Ford Museum in Michigan. Other than that, it stays here. In fact, we just had a Thomas event in June. Funny thing about that, the face that's on it, it sits in front of the smoke box. Now the smoke box gets really hot. Originally, when they cosmetically made this look like Thomas, they had a different face on there made out of plastic. They found out the hard way that plastic doesn't like heat. I don't think, you know, I need to tell you that. But if you've ever seen the new version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, there's a scene in there where all the Muppets catch on fire, they're all melting down, all grotesque. And that happened to that face. And the rumor is, one of the old crew members here, took that face and hung it above their mantle. So that's where it apparently stays to this day. But the new face, the cool thing about the new face is that it was designed and built by the same people that made all the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. And it obviously can withstand the heat, and it's rather advanced. The mouth and the eyes will move in sequence with the audio. So it doesn't just go up and down like this, it actually moves in sequence with the audio and the verbal communication. So
The face actually moves.
yeah, and it's rather advanced. Like, it doesn't just go like this. It'll actually have the inflections like it's actually talking like a real human being with the words. When we're working this thing, this fire gets up to 2,000 degrees. And we've tested, like we've measured it. So imagine that, like you're standing in front of this door that's emitting over 2,000 degrees. The best way I could describe this thing to you guys, imagine we have a dumpster, an empty dumpster, and we leave it in the middle of Sahara Desert, okay? And then I put you in it, and in it with you, I put a campfire that's burning hot. And after that, I push you down a gravel driveway. Imagine the noise and the pain. And I surround you with steam like you're in a sauna. Like it's like we're waving to you. We're miserable. It's absolutely hot in this thing. But I mean, I joke. It's actually a really fun engine to run, and this thing's got a lot of power. But I think the other day when we were checking this out, we had a thermometer right there, and it was reading 130. When I checked it, which probably even got hot.